Welcome to our 9th episode of the Broken Pictures podcast / YouTube show, where we discuss the top 5 things that you might have missed in pop culture. If you don't know, FOMO is fear of missing out. We're also going to do a little coverage for True Detective. There may potentially be spoilers for your favorite TV shows, movies, comics, and or video games. You have been warned. This is
the FOMO Show.
So thank you guys for tuning in. This is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
This is Quin.
Excuse me, I'm still coughing a little bit. I almost kicked it. So thanks again. If you're watching on YouTube or in podcast format, we appreciate it. We appreciate you. Can't speak. So, I always say that like every episode. I'm like, you can't talk today.
Every day.
Yeah. So also hello to all our new listeners / watchers and those of you who have returned to this crazy show. We appreciate it. So don't forget to check out the website. That's www.broken.picturesno.com, and you can find us on social media. We're on Facebook. You can find us at Broken Pictures Social, and on Instagram and Twitter we are Broken_social. On Patreon we are Broken Pictures. If you'd like to support our shows and see us do more and all that kind of stuff, there we are. And but if you would if you're not at a place where you're ready to support us financially or anything like that, no problem, I get it. But if you would, if you like the show, just go in and like it, and also share if you wouldn't mind. Let some other people know that whoever might be interested in it. And if you're listening on podcast, we would appreciate a rate or review. Also, if you're on YouTube, if you hit the subscribe button, I always say subscribe because everybody says subscribe. I'm like, there's a B in there, guys.
Subscribe.
Yeah. So, and if you hit the little bell icon,
Ding.
that'll yeah. Sorry, I didn't pause for effect.
Oh, that's
So
We're the worst today.
I know, right? So I'm hopped up on coffee and donuts. So
I'm hopped up on Mountain Dew.
you come at you like a spider monkey. So yeah, if you hit the little bell icon, that'll let you know whenever we have new videos coming out. So we'd appreciate that. And don't forget our February giveaway: Black Panther Blu-ray DVD, Blu-ray disc, and digital copy. All you got to do to win by the end of the month, you need to like a FOMO Show video from February. You need to comment on a FOMO Show video from February and subscribe to our channel. Those 3 simple things, that's all you got to do. And those all have to be done on YouTube. So if you find it somewhere else, sorry about you. I don't see that. So just so you know, to qualify, it has to be on YouTube. So we appreciate you, and we'll announce the winner at the end of the month. So hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day / Single Awareness Day. So I know we went and we were gonna see a movie. We ended up coming home. We were we were gonna go eat and see a movie, and then we drove around for a little bit, and then we were gonna go eat and just buy a movie. And then we ended up, we bought a movie, but then we didn't bring it home.
Okay, so let me give you the facts. We went to eat and decided that after we got done eating, we would go buy the Bohemian Rhapsody that had a t-shirt in it.
Yeah, because I wanted the Quin t-shirt.
We searched all over Kingdom Come for this t-shirt, Bohemian Rhapsody, and we find one, and somebody didn't like the t-shirt in it. So then we went all around Kingdom Come for a new movie, and we settled for Willow, which we had to obviously watch with our kids, and so we watched that on pizza movie night. So we ended up watching a little bit of The Office and going to sleep.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
So yeah, I guess that segues into what are you guys watching this week? So we've watched we watched, of course, Willow, which was a huge classic in my house, and my sister and I have some inside jokes about my family has some inside jokes about that. It's pretty funny. It's kind of like when you remember it as a kid, as an adult from watching it when you were a kid, you see it one way, but then when you watch it again, it kind of almost ruins it.
Yeah.
But then I remember it's like, oh yeah, this is one of those we kind of made fun of too. Yeah. It's like Roselle, the witch or whatever. Is she a witch? Wizard, witch, whatever. She's like, yeah. Anyways, she's like Xena warrior princess there for a while.
Pretty terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was like so much fun. It was like so bad it was good.
Cool.
It's kind of like Princess Bride, where it's just this. You gotta take it, in stride.
Yeah, it was
not
super
it's different than I would dare not compare the two because they're in a class all their own. I can't say if one's better than the other.
Princess Bride is way more quotable for sure. The best quotes that came from Willow was Willow.
Kaya.
Willow.
Yeah.
Anyway, what'd you watch? We didn't watch much other than that.
Yeah.
You finished The Defenders.
I finished The Defenders finally.
After I got canceled.
I almost made it to the Umbrella Academy, but I didn't quite make it. So don't spoil me. I know everybody's watching that right now. So
I watched one episode and I'm like, man, I gotta find more time to watch the rest.
Yeah.
What else did you watch?
I'm playing Jump Force. I haven't really had time to watch TV. We've been doing a lot of stuff because we're still in the process of moving. So TV's like, I'll get time for you. But mostly I've just been playing Jump Force on the PlayStation 4, and it's really fun. I convinced both my friends to go get it.
Nice.
And then
Both? You only have two?
Well, they're the friends I play games with. I have other friends.
We're not your friends?
You guys are my friends. Oh my gosh.
We're podcast friends. You just categorize everybody.
I feel bad.
I'm just teasing.
That was exactly what we were hoping for.
And I also finally finished and caught up on Star Wars Vader, which I brought the last copy so y'all could, the last issue so you can see the cover because I like this cover. Which it's canon to the Star Wars universe, and if you ever wanted that Star Wars Vader solo movie, just read these. It's 2 series. One was in 2017, the other one started in 2018, and it covers pretty much covers all the way up to right before that battle, whatever that planet, Skiff, the Battle of Skiff, where they went and get the Death Star plans. But it gives you some insight and makes Vader look more
like Rogue One.
Yeah, makes it more sympathetic though, because it makes you feel like, oh man, I feel bad for you, but at the same time, you are a murderer.
He's definitely the big bad.
So yeah,
I saw that Jump Force has a DLC coming out like next month or something already.
They do. It's gonna be like 8 different characters. I got like the Ultimate Edition, so I'm gonna get all the characters. And whoever else that might come. It might be characters from the previous game. Then again, it might just be somebody like out in left field, like guest characters, whatever. But we shall see.
Cool. All right, so spoiler warning. We're gonna spoiler alert you right now. Just let you know that we might get into spoiler territory with some of this fandom that we're about to lay on you. So get ready. All right, so we're gonna get into the top 5. Oh, actually, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, we got to do the movie of the week.
Yeah.
I forgot about that too.
I'm just so excited.
The number 1 movie for this week is Alita: Battle Angel, which segues perfectly right to what the first thing we're going to talk about today, because
we gotta do our little scrolly deal. So also, in addition to the movie of the week, we're also going to put on the screen the new releases for disc, digital, and in theaters this week. So there you go.
Done. All right.
Yep. And so that segues perfectly into our first of the top 5 this week,
which is Alita: Battle Angel. Which, did y'all know that it's an old manga / anime back from the 90s?
I heard that it was a manga. Or is it manga or manga? Because I hear it both ways.
Depends on your accent, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Because my daughter corrected me, and I was like, "Oh, never
What
heard
does she
it.
say?
Manga."
Manga?
Yeah.
I say manga.
I've always said manga. But
I'll fight you. Let's go.
yeah. Then I heard somebody on the internet that was seemed like it was like an authority on stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh, well, he probably knows better than me."
I guess if you pronounce it the way it's spelled, it's manga, but I just said manga because
sounds funny. Manga.
It does, because I mean, it's a Japanese word, but even still, but yeah, and it isn't. So when I first saw the first trailer, I was like, "Oh, this seems familiar," but I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. So I always thought it was just like how Avatar is and kind of an original idea. And then I was like, oh, no, it's not, because that doesn't exist anymore. So, but
Avatar does.
An original idea.
Original idea.
My bad.
So, yeah, but it like all the reviews for it are good. It's just over this past weekend over here in the States, it is having the slowest, what's the word for it? Like
takeoff?
Yeah, slowest
President's
takeoff.
Day weekend.
Yeah, slowest President's Day weekend like the past 20 years. And they feel like it's going to make the money it should make. It's just taking its sweet time. Because it's, I guess, one of the movies that people have to tell each other about.
Yeah.
It's not something that like hype was just built it up around enough that, oh, opening weekend, let's go drop 100 million and this movie be like great.
And plus, this is definitely a theater movie because I mean, this is huge spectacle. Like they're saying, see it in 3D, like big spectacle movie.
Yeah.
Of course, James Cameron is a huge, is one of my favorites because he is such a huge 3D advocate, and I'm a big 3D advocate. If you don't like 3D, I'm sorry.
We'll get into that another time.
Okay.
I had a friend Keegan who went to see Alita Battle Angel, and he said it was good.
Yeah.
Hold you back. Yeah, he said it was really good, that he really enjoyed it. So
yeah, it's good. But you're basically watching a live action anime. Which is really fun to me because, that should just happen all the time. But it doesn't. Because they don't always do well over here. It's like hit and miss.
And it was made by Robert Rodriguez, who knows how to do action movies. Like, I mean, this guy, the way he films, like, I know Nerdist News did a special where one of their guys went and did a scene with him or whatever. Dude was carrying around his guitar, playing background music to get the actors in the mood, and it's like, okay, this is it.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's very cool. He's just a cool guy. Like I love watching his behind the scenes with the directors on El Rey Network and stuff.
Cool.
Yep.
I don't have anything else to say about Alita Battle Angel.
Neither do I. But this thing, I think we should talk about. Y'all can't see it. This is a ring that's shaped like a crown that goes along with what we're about to talk about next. Because what happens when you're like the ruler of a ring? You're
the one ring to rule.
Yeah.
You can get a little crazy and turn into like a weird little nasty thing that lives in an ugly dark cave.
Yeah.
How did Bro's eyes get bigger? Why did his eyes get bigger?
Like literally grew a new type of body.
But the next topic is the Lord of the Rings Amazon spin-off prequel weird series.
Yeah, they dropped, like reports are saying that they dropped like $250 million for the rights to this.
For the rights?
Yeah.
Just for the rights. That's so much.
And it's like they've got
like, I'm living the good life.
Yeah, yeah. The Tolkien family is sitting back, and there's a Tolkien bio movie coming out right now
with, fun.
And I cannot think of the guy's name. He played Beast on the new X-Men.
Oh, that guy.
I know the face. Don't know his name.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, and I saw one of the trailers. It actually looks pretty good. It's like just how he discovered it and how he kind of wrote it and that kind of thing.
Nicholas Hoult.
Yes, that's the guy. So yeah, they've got a multi-season contract for excuse me, for Lord of the Rings, the Lord of the Rings universe, I guess, because they're not doing anything we've seen before. They're doing, it's like a prequel. I heard that it was a prequel Aragon series. Some of the characters sound like they're saying Aragorn, so I get confused.
I feel like it's just because of their accent. Because they have like really deep,
like Winder.
Yeah,
and Minner. Open that Winder. Anyway, so we've also got Peter Jackson on board to help produce these. So like that, if that doesn't boost your confidence, I don't know. Well, after The Hobbit, I don't know. But, but if that doesn't boost your confidence, I don't know what will.
It'll at least look like it's a very grand spectacle, if not anything else.
It'll probably look cohesive with what we've seen before too, which is great. So yeah, you were telling me a little bit about like where it fits in, even like. I mean, I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but I still haven't read the books, but I've watched all the extended versions and all the behind everything I can get my hands on that's video.
So this could take place during the second age of Middle Earth, which is almost 1,000 years before Frodo gets a hold of the ring. Mm-hmm. And from that, like, it could be Markarth, who is the like main antagonist, or it could just be someone else, or if it's like even on a smaller scale than that, there just could be like random orcs and Uruk running around that are having their bands and tribes or whatever. Because from what it looks like, there's not really too much there. And it might just be like the setup of this is how literally everything came to be. And like it might be even a story of Sauron coming about. Oh,
kind of like the Silmarillion or something. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that kind of provoked this is Amazon dropped a teaser on Twitter. There was a map, and they had a Tolkien quote that said, I wisely started with a map. And then they posted a map of the universe that they're going to, or the map that they're going to use for the series. And it says 3 kings for elven kings under the sky.
What is this? What?
3 rings for the elven kings under the sky. And somebody pointed out that there was not a certain town or village or whatever city on the map, and so that's what kind of places it where it is in the universe.
What time period?
Yeah, what time period. So I don't know. I know Aragorn as a ranger is I cannot remember what race he is. I know he's half man,
half elf.
No, it's not elf. It's another what the rangers are. Like they're kind of like a dying breed.
Yeah.
And he's half that, but they live for several hundred years or whatever. So I don't know if he's going to be in this or not, or if this is going to be well before his time.
Could be, or there's a lot going on with it. And at the time that this is coming out, Game of Thrones is ending. Game of Thrones is kind of like a darker, low fantasy, and Lord of the Rings has always been high fantasy. Had its dark moments, but for the most part, it was pretty lighthearted. Mm-hmm. Like, you'll let your kids watch Game of Thrones for it. No. You'll let your kids watch Lord of the Rings before you let them watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think probably you get Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe on the top end of that too.
Like top end talking animals, talking lions that are the ruler of everything. Yeah.
I love to hear about the Inklings, like the little meetings that Tolkien and C.S. Lewis had where they talk about stuff like this, and they kind of they had differing beliefs as far as what they thought and stuff like it, because Tolkien told C.S. Lewis that he didn't think his stories would work because they were too much of a parallel to the Bible stories.
Yeah.
But of course, Lewis was more into stuff like that, and actually wrote several books on faith and stuff like that. But Tolkien wasn't any less a Christian or less faith or anything, had less faith or anything like that. He just had a different point of view on, you can see the parallels like click through, if you, of course, like Gandalf coming off the mountain, and it comes from the east and all that kind of stuff. But yeah. So, anyways, I love stuff like that.
Trying to think what else. Oh, in The Witcher, but The Witcher's
It's a whole different.
It's different. It's high. It's still high fantasy. It's just dark. It's just dark high fantasy. Which Game of Thrones ending, those two are trying to fill that void of maybe we can piggyback off of that and just
a lot of interest
run
in
with
that.
it. Yeah. So.
And some of the video games for Lord of the Rings here recently have gotten pretty dark too.
Because there's side stories, and then especially, and especially like the Shadow War, it got dark just because it's like this is the other side of the Lord of the Rings, and this isn't gonna be meant for kids. So slit throats.
Oh my goodness.
We did find out that all the elves from the Lord of the Rings original series are now bad guys in the Marvel universe. So apparently they did get a hold of the One Ring and it corrupted them.
And they turned green.
Yeah. Captain Marvel coming out is our which number? Number 3. So it's looking like it's going to have a pretty dang good weekend. And some of the review.
I almost said Shazam and then been like, oh, wait, sorry, wrong hero.
Yeah, if you don't know, they shared a name and they kind of had a little spat and Marvel got to keep the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's old nerd stuff. So some of the early reviews for Captain Marvel are saying that it's phenomenal. It's actually one of the best Marvel movies that they've ever seen. And however, so it's look, I'm stuttering. So it's looking like it's headed toward a big $100 million weekend. But there's a lot of trolls out there that are trying to pull the same kind of crap that they pulled with Black Panther and kind of bomb the Rotten Tomatoes reviews so that it kind of gets off to a rocky start, make people think that it's not a good movie.
Yeah. They make it look like it critically did bad, but commercially good, like Suicide Squad, but nothing like Suicide Squad, because this movie is going to be fine.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, I did a thing of Quin's Corner of like, what if it does fail just by some weird chance? Like, that could derail Marvel's whole next 10 years.
Yeah, because
So-
they've got a lot riding on this.
Yeah. But I think they know what they're doing. It seems like they marketed it well because they put it literally everywhere. And there's so many, like, I went to Walmart the other day and there was just a wall of like Captain Marvel pops.
Wow.
So yeah, like
I know when they first released the trailer, some of the kickback was that
I definitely, just realized that you didn't mean soda. You were talking about like those little things.
Yeah, the
I'm
little
straight up
pops.
like, wow, I didn't even know they put her on a can. I thought you were talking about soda. I'm from really south, so I thought you meant, can we call it pop?
Yeah. Well, the Funko Pops.
I get it now.
Funko Pop. Oh, gotcha.
Funko, yeah.
Yeah. So the first marketing that came out, she didn't really have a whole lot of emotion, and people were upset about that. She was just kind of dry. But so a lot of the new stuff that come out, she's got, you know, the quirk with her hair, blowing her hair, and the smile here, and like, oh yeah, squirrels can't do that. You know, it's kind of funny stuff.
Which the thing with that is, I mean, she got, you know, abducted and then was put in a Kree hit squad. So she probably didn't have emotions because she was a heartless assassin.
Right. Yeah, that's right. If you think about like, what's his face? Oh, I just went blank.
That's okay. Get to the point.
With the guy that you said, oh, he's got 2 names. There's 2 people by the same name.
Marvel?
No.
Markart?
Oh, I remember.
The Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah, there's 2
Yeah.
Ronan.
Jeez, how can I forget that? Yeah. So yeah, if you think about like Ronan and all the other iterations of Kree that we've seen, they've been pretty stoic. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like the... Which one was the nicer one in Romeo and Juliet? The Capulets?
I don't remember.
No,
I don't think either one of them were really nice.
Not really. They were all kind of dirty.
Yeah.
But like, they're the more regal ones. They're the one that has more of an order to them. With the Skrulls, they're just kind of like, we're going to take this place over in a whole different way type of things. They're the ones that don't mind getting down the nitty gritty.
Nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah. So, oh man. Oh, there was one thing I was going to say about Captain Marvel. I'm working Lydia's nerves on this. Keanu Reeves was actually the first pick to play Jude Law's character, but he decided he wanted to do John Wick 3, so we got Jude Law. And I think,
much prefer that.
Yeah. Look like a woodchuck.
How much would I should
Why would you say that?
Zoom in on the screen real quick. So, anyways, so I'm glad they chose what they chose, and good old cousin Jude Law. If I could say that, I don't think he is. I don't know if he is or not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, side story. When I lived in New York, my ex-wife worked. She was one of the managers at Hard Rock, and we both worked at Hard Rock. And he, at the time, I want to say he was doing Hamlet in New York, and one of his representatives called and was like, "Hey, Jude wants to come in and eat at Hard Rock after the show. Can you make a reservation, but don't put his name on the list? Because if you go to the one in New York, I don't know if they do it at all of them, but there's a screen that's got everybody's name, and you know when it's time for you to go in because it
like
says
when you're looking for your pizza.
Yeah, exactly. So they said hey, don't put his name on the list because it might make people think something. And she had answered the phone, and she was like, well, why would they think something? He was like, well, because Jude Law.
Because it's Jude Law.
Right. Wouldn't want to put Law on there. She was like, oh, well, that's not a big deal because my last name is also Law. And they're like, oh, okay, really? Okay, well, we'll see you after. And he never showed up. So maybe he was just like, oh, some American cousin wanting money or something. So who knows?
Speaking of picking people for things, though, since we mentioned that earlier.
Oh, yeah. So one of my favorite subjects to talk about, I think is probably the most talked about subject on this show is the casting for Batman. Now, this has been all over the place. And I think the reason people are so connected to this is because Quin told us earlier that the Detective Comics number 1000.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that you had to wait for it. When is it coming out again?
It should say 997. So like a month from now.
Yeah. So is this the longest running comic?
It's not the longest running comic. Superman has it beat by I think about 10 issues. So because it's at 1010. I believe.
Oh wow! So they nailed the casting for Superman.
Yeah.
So everybody's cool with Henry Cavill, but the casting for Batman, there's been so many. I mean, there's really only been a handful of Superman, but Anyways, and I did meet a living Superman recently, but anyways.
Whole different topic. Don't get him on that.
Yeah, you can go back and watch our backlogs for that story. So the reports are coming out. I'm sorry. I'm getting jumbled up here.
He's excited.
I think people. Yeah, I'm excited. So people. I think people are so at odds with the Batman casting because people are so connected to Batman. And everybody has their favorite version of Batman, whether it be Michael Keaton or Christian Bale. You've got
Adam
people
West,
who love Val Kilmer.
But then also some of the Batman casting's been like hit and miss over the years.
Notice
as well.
I didn't mention George Clooney or Ben
Affleck. Yeah, most definitely. So,
according to Zack Snyder, Ben Affleck was the best Batman he'd ever been. And from what the quote that I read, according to him, it was just like his immense kindness and his amazing chin that made him a great Batman.
Ben Affleck doesn't even have a chin.
He does. He has that.
He has this, but he has no jawline.
Well, you can
Right,
fake
just
that with the
kinda,
Batman.
Goes into the back of his neck.
Yeah,
What?
it's just like me. Like, I don't have a jawline. I'm like, it's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like for
I don't know if you could tell. I have a nice little cleft.
Go look at our Instagram back when we played Danny and Sandy. He had a nice little.
That's not a good example. I looked horrible as Danny.
I feel like Zack Snyder.
He's an unreliable narrator.
Okay.
But so yeah, the reports I saw last night, and we record on Tuesdays, so this is Tuesday, February 19th, as in one of the corners here.
2019.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I saw these reports last night that Armie Hammer was in final talks to play Batman, and it might, as of right now, it still might have come out that I haven't seen, but I also saw conflicting reports saying that these reports were false. So and I, a couple weeks ago, somebody I know heard it on the radio that Zac Efron was cast as Batman, and then Robert Pattinson was in final talks. So I mean, this is going all over the place, and there's so much misinformation and false reports that it's like, and as far as casting goes, like it was revealed to Chris Pratt like a couple weeks ago on one of his interviews that he was in the running for Batman, and he didn't even know it. So I think people are just throwing names out there and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, they really are. In fairness, though, Armie Hammer did go and refuse those and say, no, I'm not.
Oh, he did?
So it says 2 hours ago, Armie Hammer refuses those Batman casting rumors.
Okay, yeah.
So he denied.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind him as Batman. Yeah,
what was he again?
He was the Lone Ranger.
Ranger.
Yeah, he's talented, and he's got the look and the size and the build. He could really pull it off in the vein of the huge Ben Affleck Batfleck. I mean, it depends on what you think of Batman. Do you think like small and brawler, or do you think big and just domineering?
The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah,
I think Michael Keaton. So tiny.
Yeah, and I do agree.
Neck,
I do agree with Kevin Smith that they need to do a Batman Beyond with Michael Keaton as old Bruce Wayne.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be very cool.
I'd watch it, buy it, watch it 4 times, take all my money. Here's my money.
Write him letters about how much I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, the Batman the animated series, that's the definitive Batman, where he doesn't use guns. Batman Beyond. I mean, I have an issue where I'm watching these movies, even with the Burton Batmans that everybody loves with Michael Keaton. He still has guns on the Batmobile.
Mm.
Well, Batman, even in like the games, like Batman has guns on the Batmobile, but he doesn't use them on people. He just uses them on like AI machines. Yeah, and like if he does shoot somebody, he just shoots like it's like a beanbag rock, but it's better. And it just leaves a hole, not a hole. It leaves like, big old giant thing in your chest, and it's gonna be bruised up for like ever.
Mm.
So
like riot gear type deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, but in my mind, if Batman, I'm of the mind, just like in Batman the animated series, the only time he ever had to pull a gun, he quit being Batman. Like it was that profound to him. Like, I do not use guns, and he quit being Batman over it. So for me to see these other Batmen on film using guns, that I mean, I'll watch it, I'll enjoy it, but that's veering away from Batman.
Well,
and some of these Batman where they just like Ben Affleck's Batman where he's just using guns. It's like, if you want to make a Punisher movie, but don't make Batman the Punisher. Just like Superman. If you want to make a Batman movie, but don't make Superman Batman.
But
does that make sense? Because Superman was so dark.
Yeah,
anyways.
It was pretty dark. But in the Dark Knight Returns, Batman did use guns in the Frank Miller run. Like when he came back.
Yeah. And that was one of the good comics too.
Yeah, and I feel like that was probably Zack Snyder's favorite version of Batman, because that's exactly what Ben Affleck was.
Oh yeah, even the costume, and the size,
And he did not care about life, because when he had the vision of Apocalypse Earth, when the guys came and were trying to take him. There was one dude, he shot his knee out and was like, boop, all right, here we go. Let's keep going. And I'm
I could see Batman doing that. Like he'll it's kind of like if you ever, this is a weird comparison, but if you ever saw Aladdin 2, it's like the genie is like, you'd be surprised what you can live through. Like that's what I see Batman is like. He'll bring you right up to the doorway of death, but he won't kill you.
I get you. But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, of course the new the Batman is what it's going to be called. The new Matt Reeves version is going to be focused more on the world's greatest detective and him as a detective.
That was what I was about to ask. I saw some things that said it was going to be more like a detective noirs. Is it still going to be like that?
Yeah, as far as I know, those are the definitive reports that they're still in talks for casting. They're shooting to film sometime towards, I want to say November, later in the year. You okay there? Am I boring you? I'm just teasing. She always yawns. If you watch regularly, you would know. Anyway.
Wow, shots fired.
Anyways, so yeah, that's the only thing we really know definitively is that it is going to start filming later this year around November. So they should be casting any moment now, and it's just kind of lingering, and that it's going to be focused on him as the world's greatest detective, and it's going to be a more of a noir type Batman.
I don't know if I like that.
I absolutely love it because it makes me think of like the Sherlock Holmes aspect of him tracking down the criminal and figuring things out. And that's one of the things I really did like about the animated series is that they did put that element in there.
The only thing about it that makes me worry is like the pace of the movie.
Right.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you still have to keep it action-y. But I mean, think about the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes was very actiony. He was very good pacing, but he was also very Sherlock Holmes.
But Guy Ritchie's not doing it.
Right, yeah. But yeah. But Matt Reeves, he did the Planet of the Apes series. So he knows what he's doing.
Like which Planet of the Apes?
The
like,
new ones.
The new ones?
Yeah. Not the OG ones.
Oh, goodness gracious. We would be really worried if that were the case.
No!
Okay, then I can kind of see. All right, then I just imagine Caesar in a Batman outfit. That's what I see right now.
Who?
Caesar.
Oh. That's who's going to be. It's going to be Andy Serkis as Batman. We should have known.
But talking about things that have no place in this world, Frozen 2 trailer.
I do have to put out my...
Dear Jesus.
That Batman should... I have to say this every time. Batman should be an unknown because there is no baggage and you get to start over with a clear slate. People don't have that built-in expectation that comes with the celebrity and you get a fresh new face.
Tom Cruise shouldn't be Green Lantern. Okay, we can go.
Or Wolverine.
If you don't cast him soon, he might not make it to see the movie. Ruining my segues like this.
All right.
So cast him very soon, please.
My bad.
I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, so speaking of what she said, Frozen 2, the trailer dropped late towards the end of last week.
Mm-hmm.
And it was surprisingly dark. I guess that would be the segue, the Dark Knight, the Dark Frozen.
Was it dark though?
It was kind of dark.
I don't feel like it was
the very first scene of her on the ocean, like I legitimately thought it was a live action. I was just like,
real.
What? That was amazing.
It was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like I have 3 kids, 2 girls. So I was sick of Frozen. Like sick of Frozen. I would let it go for real. I'm done. And but seeing this, like I kind of reluctantly saw it because I was like, oh, okay. And I saw it, and I was like, I'm fully on board. I cannot wait for Frozen 2 now.
Same.
As long as there are less musical numbers, okay?
What? No.
What? It's not a Disney animated movie without musical numbers.
I get that.
Amen.
I get that. But I'm just not for it. I'm just not one of those. Y'all can hate me, you can whatever, but I'm just not that excited for Frozen 2. I'm glad that it's an original idea that's being successful and it's making headway and all of these things, but I just...
Yeah, I always got to have the naysayers out there. And
I'm a naysayer on this.
There's bad apples in every barrel. So some of the speculation that's going on, of course, there's the hashtag make Elsa gay, and everybody wants to give Elsa a girlfriend. And there is a new female character, in the trailer. However, I don't think that is Elsa's girlfriend. She seems too young. And in the same scene, there's it's like somebody's got wind powers and blows this boy up in this pile of leaves. And the boy, if you slow it down, it kind of resembles Kristoff. And so the girl also kind of resembles Anna. Anna, excuse me. So it
we did not let that last long.
No, you didn't let it slide at all. So to me, it makes sense that these are Anna and Kristoff's kids, that it's down the line. And maybe she has those powers because it's in her bloodline or something. But it does look like they're setting up because they showed the scene with the runes. And if you look, are like these little ice crystals, and each one seems to have its own rune on it. There's like 4 different ones. If you look at the Frozen 2 poster, you can get a really good view of the 4, and they seem to all represent the 4 seasons and different elements to go along with that.
But a lot of speculation is going around that is not actually Kristoff and Anna's children. It is young Anna and Elsa's parents.
That's true. I forgot.
And that is a huge theory going around because some people who talked about the movie while it was in the works and things like that said we get to meet and learn about her parents more.
Yeah, because her parents are supposedly dead, and there was even a fan theory that was semi-confirmed by the director that they ended up crash landing on a little place in Africa and became Tarzan's parents.
Correct.
Or were Tarzan's parents?
Right.
Because they did.
Yeah, they did die.
Yeah, were.
But there's no reason for that to even connect. It doesn't really matter. It's cool, but it has no pertinence on how Frozen 2 goes.
Wait, hold on.
Because they still die.
So, have y'all watched Once Upon a Time?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I wanted to get into it with the kids and stuff, but I just never did.
So I do.
Good spoiler.
But okay, so 2 seasons ago, Anna and Elsa were in Once Upon a Time, and their aunt was also there, and she had ice powers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And
so whenever
So is this actual? I'm sorry. I just lost.
Is it connected to
it seems like it because it happens after the events of their movie. And a lot of interesting things happen in Once Upon a Time. Merida and Milan team up to go fight somebody.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things. But it seemed like it was, because then they made it seem like it was just right out of the show, and then they just put them right back into their world like nothing happened.
Interesting.
And so whenever Elsa accidentally hurts Anna and they take her to the little trolls, they ask, were you born with it or were you cursed? And it doesn't really flesh that out very much. But it's speculated that she was born with it and that her parents have the powers, and that's why they knew where to go. That's why they knew of the places and things like that. And so it's probably the biggest. It's probably her parents.
Very possibly. Very possibly.
That's what I'm going to stick with.
Even though the boy does look a lot like Kristoff and her dad had brown hair. The boy has blonde hair. But yeah, he could have darkened up as he got older.
Or it could have been like her mom's first boyfriend, and then she accidentally killed him. Oh, let's just make it.
Or it could have been even worse, and it could have been her mom's first boyfriend who ended up having a kid, which was Kristoff, and now it's slightly incest.
Leave it to Disney.
I mean, the cousin thing is popular right now.
Game of Thrones is having far reach here. A huge impact in pop culture.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I got for Frozen.
Yeah.
Leah, let us know what you guys think of the top 5, and if you have more speculative material, let us know in the comments below, and we'll keep the conversation going. So we can also talk about. Wait. What you got?
I only say that she accidentally killed him because Kristoff doesn't know his parents. He was raised by the trolls.
Boom.
Fair.
That is true.
Fair.
Okay.
Maybe it was Kristoff and he has some troll magic that just keeps him young forever.
Now we're getting weird.
Okay.
All right. Where were we?
Anyways, yeah.
Moving on.
We're gonna move on to our segment about True Detective, which is called Broken Detective.
Are you caught up?
I don't have time for TV.
It's almost over.
Yeah, there's one episode left, and this one is really just getting spicy, man.
Yeah,
it's
it hit the fan.
Good.
Officially hit the fan.
First appearance.
Voice appearance. Vocal appearance.
Of good old Merle, Michael Rooker, Mary Poppins himself. Creepy as can be. Cool. Perfect pick.
Almost unrecognizable. Like when he first started talking, I was like, what? Is that really him? Like, and then the more the volume increase and things like that, you can definitely tell that it is him. Mm-hmm. But I feel like he pulled it off really well because he wasn't just like, I'm going to go in here with that classic Merle Dixon accent and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But like, he really like made me shake in my boots a little.
Yeah. He seems like he would be running, somebody that's well-to-do would be running a factory, whatever. But we did get some reveal as to what happened between Wayne and his partner. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah, without spoiling some pretty serious stuff that you figure it out only just like right before it happens. It's like, oh, what? And then it's cool to watch it happen,
But what's funny is he and I kept pausing it while we were watching this episode. This is what's going to happen. No, this is what's going to happen. No, this is what's going to happen. We were both slightly right, but we were also slightly wrong. So that's really refreshing to feel like you're at the cusp of it, but then they still kind of can shock you a little bit.
Pull one over on you.
Yeah.
And so this next episode, there's still a lot to reveal. They still haven't revealed their whole hand, and I'm really excited to see how this all plays out, as well as a tie to season 1. That was a huge thing.
Yeah, officially tied it on in there. Just full on in the episode, showed pictures, like immediately tied it together. Mm-hmm. So that was really cool.
I don't know if they're gonna retcon to where season 2 is also connected, or they're just kind of throwing that out. But I tell you what, I would love to see, because they talk about how there's this
don't get too spoilery.
Okay. Well, there's they talk about this very early on in the season, and if you seen season 1, there's this group of child traffickers, and I would love to see each season progress, unraveling an area of this child human trafficking ring, and it started with season 1, the one in New Orleans, and then throughout time, and it closes in. Each season is a different story, closing in on this big connective material, unmasking this child trafficking ring into a big culmination. I would love to see it all connected that way.
Yeah, but at the same time, the fun of this season has been not knowing if it was that or not.
That's true.
Because they've dangled a hook over here and then over here, and so we haven't been sure the whole time what exactly has happened, and that's part of the fun of it. Mm-hmm. If that were the case, we would know going in that it's just like a different storyline leading up to it.
I don't know. I could see it both ways, where it would be, but also I would also love to see the guiding hand of an overarching story that kind of is tying it all together loosely,
Yeah, and I'm gonna be sitting on pins and needles waiting for y'all to finish it out because I have no clue how you're going to fit the mass of what we still need to know and be revealed in one last episode.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, and that's what I would love to see as well, where not necessarily everything is revealed, but maybe in other seasons it ties back and ties up loose connective material. That would be super cool.
Conclusion and
where you're watching 3 seasons later and then it ties up a loose end from season 1 and you're just like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And that would
that's
just
fun in theory, but not when you actually have to wait 7 days to see a next episode.
Well, I mean, you know how there are always like loose fan theories, like, oh yeah, this plot hole was never covered, and then they cover it 3 seasons later or something. That would be super cool to have like this person show up, because they do multiple timelines and all this stuff. So you like have crossed paths with this person, that would be super cool.
What's it called when you need closure? I need closure after a season, after a series. I can't.
Well, to a certain degree, the closure, but I still love the interwoven spider's web. Where, just so complicated.
Yeah, I mean, that type of stuff is neat, but not for this.
I don't know. I think it fits in perfectly.
I know, and I say no. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
But anyways, it's 2 different opinions. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. If you're even watching True Detective. If you're not, you should be. It's very bingeable, so if you don't get to see it next week, you can always go back and watch it. Catch it on HBO. And it was filmed in Northwest Arkansas. I have a little spot. I'm a blurry spot in the background. So look out for me there at the Sawhorse Bar. Okay, so any last thoughts, you guys, before we close out?
Where'd the thing go?
Into my can.
Oh, okay. Not that I can think of. I'll probably think of one. Y'all have one? No. No one said. Everybody says no.
The nays have it.
So keep the conversation going in the comments. Let us know what you think. You can follow us on Twitter and hit us up at our tags at the bottom. Of course, on Twitter, you can also probably find us on Instagram through our Twitter. We post a lot on there as well. By the way, anyways, thanks for watching. And I appreciate you watching, whether you're on YouTube or if you're listening as a podcast. You can go to the website. That's www.broken.pictures.com. And you can check out the store. That's www.broken.pictures/store. And you can get cool things like posters and t-shirts and whatnot. You can catch us on social media, of course. On Facebook, it's Broken Pictures Social. Instagram and Twitter, we are Broken_social. And on Patreon, we are Broken Pictures. And if you would, go through and like and share and let people know that we're out there. And it also lets the program that you're watching on or listening on, tells them to move us to the front and just show us to more people. We'd appreciate that. And if you're listening to a podcast, appreciate a rate and review. And especially if you're on iTunes, that really helps out on iTunes. If you give us 4 or 5 stars there, push us to the front. So YouTube, if you would please subscribe and tag that little bell.
Ding.
Oh, she did this time.
And that would let you know whenever we have new videos coming out. And so if you want to stay tuned, we also have The Walking Dead show coming up. You can also find that on YouTube and a podcast as well. It's The Broken Dead. So this is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
This is Uncle Shifty.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.